Ahoy, me mateys. I am done with the races here at the Pickall Punisher. Oh my goodness, it took so long to catch my breath after this last pull. So here's the last bit. It is the end of the race session. Race 4 of a series of 4. I was able to do 3 out of 4 of them. Ended up, first race was 7th. Second race, I was like basically 3rd to last. I forgot what the number was. So, no, second race I didn't make. Third race, I was like 3rd from last or something like that because I missed the second race because of pneumonia. And then the third race, of course, I did it recovering from pneumonia. And so I just kind of sat in the back and I barely had anything in me. So this time, a week removed, I feel a lot better. I feel probably like 90+%, 95+%. The biggest thing is really just my lungs aren't 100%. As I just noticed after finishing that last pull, basically it was like, all right, it's the last bit. Try to catch one person that had about 75 to 100 feet lead. Was catching her up on the last bit of flowy hills. And so quarter on the very last push, the very last hill. Then I was like, man, screw it. I only got like a football field left. Just keep gearing up and keep pushing. One guy was up front and literally he looked back and then as soon as he turned back around, I just started pumping. I mean pumping. I haven't pumped that hard, that long and so long. So across the finish line, just passed him like 6 feet before the finishing line, and then it was a wrap for me. I couldn't breathe for a while and everything. So, but they're about to do their announcements right now for the trophies. So I will catch you guys in a few. Yo, what's going on, folks? All right, we are home. Wanted to do a recap on everything. This was the last race of the Pickall series. Those guys do a great event. They sponsor everything with food, beer, little oil, lube for your chain. They give you some basically electrolytes, kind of refuel packet. Winners actually got a Camelback, somebody I saw with another kit. So they actually give you some nice stuff. I do have to say that I enjoy the event. It's limited in the amount of numbers of competitors because it is a small, just a 2-mile loop. However, it's a great event. I mean, they host it very well. The event is really what you can do a 50-minute to almost an hour ride all together. And it just ends up being pretty darn good. So shout out to the folks that do, and all the sponsors, including K-Hop. He does the photos, which he was there for race 1, 2, and he participated in 3, so he didn't take pictures for 3. And then you had number 4, which he was taking pictures for. So, and he actually does it for, as far as folks to pull them down, they are free, and then you can purchase if you want to have an album. So check him out for sure. So great dude, and Corey Hopkins. So to the race. So congratulations to Matt and Brett. They end up having a 1-2. Matt ended up pulling out for the whole season or the series and ended up with the overall win. So he got the champagne baths and everything in there, did his thing. So he just held it down as far as for the sport masters 35 plus class, which is what I was in. I ended up in 11th of 18th for today. I do not know the overall standings or anything like that. Didn't really, that's later. But I'm quite sure I'm going to be down low, like in 13th or something like that. I did do a respectable 7th in race 1. However, with that one, I actually started ahead of everybody. So with that, I had clean air. So with the clean air, I was able to not get held up by anybody in the front. I was able basically just to ride my ride. Now on race 2, I had pneumonia. 3, I had pneumonia but was recovering, dying out there. Just want to finish up the race. So it was basically second to last or third to last out of 18 or 19. And then the last race, race 4, ended up in 11th of 18. I was, if you compare it to race 1 where I had clean air, I was about a minute 30 seconds off. So I finished out today with a 52:02, and I was able to finish up the race strong. My lungs actually felt pretty decent until that last push at the end, and it took me, I don't know, about 15 minutes just to even catch my breath. Because I did a very hard push near the end, which I should have had some of that vigor during the race, quite honestly. So let's recap the race when we started off. So start off with the group in the back, pedaled out fairly well. The first lap was actually my PR. So I actually had a good first full lap of a 12.5 miles per hour. Is how fast I was going there. So I PR'd that, and I also PR'd the first stretch. So the thing is that it just went downhill after that, right? And even on the first one, that first stretch was fast at 15 miles per hour, which is my fastest ever, of course, because I PR'd it. And then that dropped down to like basically 13 from 15 miles per hour down to like 13 or so, and then it slowly trickled down to even like a 12 near the end, like a 12.6 or something like that. I was just getting gassed on all the damn gravel. I do need to do more pedaling like on gravel or flats to really just kind of get the consistency on. But the contrast is on the single track, I'm fine. On the single track, I actually gain on people due to the flowy uphills, and while I actually start closing the gap on them. And then when it gets into the flats and the gravel, that's when they start just getting off on me. It's like, geez, pause. So that's one of the things that I need to work on. This year, I just haven't been doing any of that. I just solely been doing mountain biking in the trails, not as much gravel or paved, and then doing interval kind of sessions or consistent pedaling is what I'll call it. So first lap, from there, I mean, the testament is that from the stretch, which I had a good time on, every lap after that was a plus 20 seconds. So did 5 laps, so 4 of those laps was 20 plus 20 seconds just in that front stretch. So that's pretty bad. I mean, I was fairly consistent other than that first lap, but unfortunately, like within like 5 seconds, but unfortunately that adds up, and I can literally see people just walking away where I'm on their tail when we start. By the time we finish and we're going into the single track, I got to try and chase them inside the single track. So that was one of the things that was kind of disheartening, quite honestly. When I went into the single track, sometimes I'm just gassed from the gravel that I don't even push it unless somebody's fast in front of me. If somebody's fast in front of me, I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to take this fast. So I'm pumping through, barely braking in some of the sections, going through, and then I'm actually catching the fast guys in that first technical section with just riding with confidence. And then come out of it, they'll pedal out, right? But if I stayed consistent in those single track areas with the aggression that I normally would have, that would have been, I think, quite a bit of difference right there. It's just I started getting just lax and trying to pace myself a little too much and then ended up being like a gear or so down, or not pedaling consistently to keep the speed, like feeling that speed rush and then being able to hit certain things, like I was, say, in the first lap. So yeah, just need to work on that, especially for the next race, Rails to River, which that pace is going to be a little bit slower than this one. That one's a more punchy venue. It's going to be a longer race at 14 miles versus 10-12. With that one, the speeds just aren't as high. There isn't as much open gravel spots to kind of keep that 12-mile-per-hour pace or anything. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a fun one. Yeah, so no, this is the end of this particular series. Next series is going to be Wakefield Wednesdays. Looking forward to that. I did not get any video today. I was working literally up until 5 minutes before, or 4 minutes before actually having to get in line for the race. And then I just forgot to put on my GoPro in the hectic situations. Damn you, Charlie, if you're watching. So next time I'll just at least throw it on. For Wakefield, I have it on. And I figured, hey, with my lungs still not being 100%, you know, let's just go ahead and try and push it a little bit. So yeah, but my heart rate spiked up to, I think it said like 190 or something ridiculousness like that. And yeah, I saw 80 consistently. Like I was like, oh, I gotta cut this down a little bit. My body just isn't used to that. And then even the last section, last half of the race or last quarter of the race, I actually started getting pressure cramps. And that's because I'm just pushing it. My body isn't getting enough blood flow for that effort. And or my heart rate is just too high for that pressure that I'm trying to put in. And it just is beating me up. And I started just kind of getting little twitches here and there. But I just said, fuck it. It's the last push. I'm just gonna push it. And so the last push, I was able to pass the second lady. Then I caught up to the next lady, passed her on the very last hill climb. And I was like, well, I don't got nothing else, just keep pushing. I was like, I know she's faster than me in the XC spots because she would pull away. So I was like, I just gotta keep gearing up, keep pushing, standing up, push it, push it, push it. There was one gentleman in front of me. And then I just decided, hey, I'm just going to keep pushing and past him literally like 3 to 5 feet just before the finish. So I had to give him some dab. He was like, oh, you sly little guy that you just passed me. And he was in the 50s. So he actually passed me a while ago. And then I was able to gain on him just at that end. So that just kind of shows that with that gap from us to the 50s men's is about a minute. He passed me, had a good lead, and then I had to play catch up. So that's one of the things that I just got to get stronger on. So I do need to work on more calisthenics, push-ups, etc., to keep my body stronger. Getting some weights in there to get myself stronger, and then also do more consistent riding at a higher interval pace. So yeah. So that's it, man. That's the recap for the whole series. Again, thanks a lot for folks watching this video. You know, the dozens and dozens of folks watching me rant or talk and recap about this stuff. I think it's just kind of fun, something for me to kind of look back. And then next time I have some videos. I did try to take some videos of like Brett and Matt that ended up having a 1-2. And then they also had a rock, paper, scissors competition, and I was able to capture that moment as well. So I ended up posting that separate. So yeah, no, it was good times. Off until next year. The bike is doing great. I did not put more pressure in the rear, which did help me for the tech spots, but it possibly hurt me overall with the RockShox Deluxe, the Sid Lux Ultimate. I need to make sure that I check the pressures before each race because it does go down by a few PSIs. I felt it, but again, because of work, I just literally forgot to do that. So that was the last thing that I needed to do, and I did not end up doing it, and I felt the cushiness, but I figured it wouldn't hurt too much, that I'll be all right. So it is what it is. So catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for watching. We got Rails to River or River to Rails. I was butchered the name over at Lake Fairfax on Sunday. Hopefully the weather works out well, and then we'll be able to do some stuff. I'm hitting up some bike parks. Already hit up Bryce. Already hit up Massanutten. Some videos will be coming later on those. That I do on my computer, not on my phone. So those are pushed out later. But yeah, I will catch y'all on the next one. This is already way too goddamn long, and I will see y'all. All right, bye.